Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again, and today is the video where I compare the Prescott, the Northwood, and the Extreme Edition Pentium 4 CPUs. These are all on the 478 Intel socket, and we are going to see which one of these is the best. Will it be the most power-hungry Prescott, the less power-hungry Northwood, or the almighty Extreme Edition? All these seem to have advantages and disadvantages. With the Northwood, it has the lowest power consumption, but it also has the lowest amount of level 2 cache. The Prescott has more level 2 cache, but it runs a lot hotter. And then finally, the Extreme Edition has level 3 cache and has pretty high power consumption as well, albeit not as much as the Prescott. The Extreme Edition is about 103 watt TDP, and the Prescott is, I believe, 115 watt TDP. And then the Northwood is either 86 or 95 watt. Either way, it is pretty much significantly lower than either of the other two processors. And right here I have the performance scores if you're interested. The SSD, surprisingly, only gets 5.9, but I suspect that has to do with the limited memory and processor. Or it could just be the downright limit of the computer. But nonetheless, it does boot up a lot quicker, and that's what I was going for. Now I have a program called i8kFan GUI, and I am going to be using this to monitor the CPU temperature. I can force all the fans to high speed, although that's not what I'm going for. And from the looks of it, it seems to only control the left fan and the center fan, not anything else. There we go. So no fan control, show temperatures only. It will show the temperatures in the bottom corner. I will have fraps running as well, so that we can see the frame rates, see if they go up or down at all depending on which processor we have. Keep in mind that every version of the processor that we're using today all run at the same speed of 3.4 gigahertz. With the Extreme Edition, because it's unlocked, we could overclock it. However, I wouldn't recommend it on a laptop, so I'm not going to. So, monitor arrow, throw it in the corner, top right, is what I usually like to do. And I'm not going to be recording, it's just going to show to be, there. I want to bring you to system tray. And there we go. And then I want this to do the same as well. Display options, icon settings, miscellaneous, minimize the tray when closing main window. Okay, so if I close you, yep, it's still there and not changing. Alright, you can see the game I have loaded up is Amnesia. I'm going to set up a little name account thing, and then we'll get right to it. Okay, we are here with i8kFan GUI, to monitor the CPU temps. Right now it's at 51, and it will continue to monitor while we do our test, and it will give us the peak temps, and that's what we're looking for. And then we're also looking for frame rate. So I have Fraps running, and we're going to try to run Amnesia at full screen. Hopefully it works. Before it didn't. The fans are already starting to ramp up. Alright, you can see here that we have Prescott, Northwood, and Extreme. This is obviously Prescott, so let's select that. And we're going to start a new game on each one, and each game is going to start the opening cutscene, and then we're going to walk around and see how good or bad it does. Start a new game, yep.
Don't forget.
Okay, it's playing.
Mustn't be forgotten. Shadow haunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Alright, so that opening cutscene showed mid-teens to mid-20s, depending on how many items there were in the shot. Now getting to the first part of gameplay. 35. Come on, Daniel, get up. You can do it. We're hovering right at 33. Of course, shadows and everything are going haywire. Going into a more shadowy room shows more stuff. Look at those rock textures. But low quality settings, it's kind of like expected. But also Pentium 4. Let's get our first tinderbox and call that there at about 23 to 25 frames. Save and exit. Exit. Alright, we are now going to see the maximum temperatures, and they got up to 63 degrees Celsius. It's actually not as bad as I had anticipated. And although it measures the GPU temp, it actually doesn't monitor its changes, so ignore that. It got up to 63, and that's what we were looking for. So now I'm going to shut down and install the Northwood processor. So I'll see you when that's done. Alright, it's rebooted back up, and now it's got the Northwood core in it. And you can see that it's already running cooler, and the fact that it's not in the 50s at idle. Instead it's now in the 40s. So that's good. We're going to get Fraps up and running once again. And now we're going to see, as soon as Fraps loads up, there we go. If there's any impact in performance when we go to a processor with lower level 2 cache. Same speed and everything. I'm just gonna launch game as it was exactly before. And you can guess that this time we are going to be selecting the Northwood playthrough option. Alright, getting 52 frames on the front screen, 48 to 52. I think that's about what we had before, so let's see if we're going to get any change in the opening cutscene if it loads. That's the issue with the game right now, it won't load. It loaded before, but that could have just been extreme luck.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry.
So
My name
mid-teens,
is Daniel. I live in London at
mid-20s.
Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
I think this one has been consistently higher in frame rates. It's in the mid to high 20s the whole time there. Alright, but that's all I've got to do with this opening wake up thing. Come on, Daniel, get up. I know migraines are bad, but they can't be this bad. 35 frames. Approaching 40. I might be crazy, but I'm not stupid. At least that's what my parents told me. I don't know. But I think that the Northwood core is doing a little bit better. Except for here. I know that here it was in the 20s, now it's in the teens. Let's go and get our first $20, and now it's chugging. It seems like during the less intense areas, it's got higher frame rates, but during the more intense areas, it's got less frame rates. It could be just me. But also, listen, it is significantly quieter in the noise department. The fans have barely even kicked on. And the max temperature shows it. It's below 60. So yeah, Northwood seems to be giving us about the same performance for less heat. And that's pretty much what was promised. So I'm going to shut down again and throw in the Extreme Edition. Hopefully it works. It worked in the XPS Gen 1, so it should work here since they are both virtually identical. And that's not what I meant to do. Shut down. See you with Extreme. Alright, Extreme Edition works. Yay. That's the only question I had. I read that it would easily support both Prescott and Northwood, but nothing about Extreme. However, the XPS Gen 1 worked fine with Extreme, so this should too, and as you can see, it does. See you at the test. Okay, we are here on the Extreme Edition now, and I've come up with a very interesting problem. Up until the Windows logon menu, the screen is fine, but then as soon as it gets to the logon menu, it doesn't show any display on the laptop screen. I have no idea why, and the BIOS is the most up-to-date. You'll see here, another display is not detected. Thankfully, this display has the exact same resolution as the laptop's display, So we should all be good. We have a lower running temperature now. I guess not lower. It's higher than the Northwood and a little bit less than the Prescott. Let's see how gaming does. Let's see if it's any better. Because this has the same amount of level 2 cache as the Northwood processor, but it also has 2 megs of level 3 cache versus the Prescott and Northwood 0. So let's see how much that helps. Launch game. I want you to be able to see the frames up top too. In order to see the screen good enough, I guess. I'm shutting off the top lights. Now logging onto Extreme, and we're getting the exact same 52 frames at the fire menu. Let's see if anything else changes, or if anything changes, I guess. I'll say it's not as loud as the Prescott with the fan noise and such.
Don't forget, mustn't be forgotten. Shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Pentium. I live in London.
We're getting 30s in there.
Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Okay, so I think that was about the same as the Northwood, with that one exception to the high 30s or 40s. And I think we're actually getting lower frames, and I am not exactly sure why. I have not changed any of the settings. And that's the baseline of what we go to. I guess overall, Northwood all the way. It runs cooler, it'll give you better battery life. If you're on a laptop, on a desktop, I guess it doesn't really matter if you have optimum cooling. So if you can find one, go for an Extreme Edition and overclock it. And Prescott, it's just sort of there. Like, it's got more level 2 cache, but what else? Nothing much, really. So, yeah. I can't believe it's not recognizing the laptop display. Nope, not even doing duplicate. Gave any results on the laptop screen. So I don't know why it's doing that. Probably some motherboard issue with the compatibility of the Extreme Edition. Because the Extreme Edition is supposed to be in an XPS model, not a regular Inspiron model. But that's my conclusion. According to YouTube, of course that's such a reliable source, this is now the second video on YouTube of a Pentium 4 Extreme Edition running. And I can prove to you that it is the Extreme, if you are skeptical of that kind of stuff. Not system. Actually, yeah, system might show it. Nope. Not much. So it would be in Device Manager. Under Processors. Pentium. Okay, that's useless. Why isn't it coming up as Extreme Edition? Either way, you saw the BIOS screen. Let's see what this does. Probably not much. It's going to do the whole thing, isn't it? I'll get to you when it's done, see if it actually improves the score. The processor should jump up to like 4.6 if it did anything. If not, then lol. Alright, I think that actually went completely nowhere. I think the scores are exactly as they were before. So yep. End of the video. Anything else you want to see with the Pentium 4s, let me know. Thanks, Game Boy out. See you next time.